We have not had any space-related stuff in a bit. The most terrifying planets ever discovered by Good Enough. Let's see if this video is good enough. Just kidding. Yeah, we're gonna look at this. I know there's some crazy planets, right? There's, for example, I wonder if that one's actually in here. Also, please consider liking, subscribing. I appreciate your support. We'll jump in. I wonder if he's gonna mention, like, the planet that's, like, so dark that, like, light, it doesn't reflect any light whatsoever. Like, so it's just, like, a dark, hellish nightmare. Regardless, we'll jump in. Interesting.
Let's start with the ones that are terrifying and work our way towards the ones that are hellish nightmares. Number 7, the burning ice planet. Gliese 436b is one of the most terrifying planets you will ever hear about. A hot Neptune gas giant that orbits very close to
Hot Neptune ass giant. Like ass giant? Bro, I can't speak anymore. Diabolical. Gas giant. What was that? The ass giant. Yeah, those planets have some good thick booty. Anyways, but is hot cold? Hot cold. How does this work?
to its star and is about 4 times Earth's radius. But let's talk about what makes this planet so terrifying. It is believed that the planet's entire surface is covered in extremely hot ice, capable of reaching temperatures above 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I know that
How does this work? How does this work? How does this... Okay. But still, how does that work? How? Like, there is... Nah, it's giant ass giant now. It's so over, bro. Shit. How does that work?
sounds confusing and makes no sense. But don't worry, lucky for you guys, I know how to read. So let me break this down a bit further. This bizarre superheated ice is formed by the planet's immense atmospheric pressure, not by cold. But instead of me just rambling off facts and telling you about these terrifying planets, let's make this a bit more fun. I will be placing you on each of these planets so
That's cursed as shit, bro. That's cursed as hell. Ice Age, and it's like the baby from Ice Age with the body of Mike.
we can see exactly what would happen to a human under these extreme conditions. Let's begin. You are now in a modern spaceship and are just about to enter Gliese 436b's atmosphere. A terrible decision. Instantly, the spaceship begins to overheat and its structural components start to deform, thanks to the planet's atmosphere being primarily made of heated helium and hydrogen. Around the 30-second mark, things can go one of two ways. The ship could be crushed from the increasing pressure, or the entire ship could vaporize from the blazing heat. Congratulations, you survived anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds. But for the sake of the video, let's say you were in an indestructible spacecraft and managed to safely land on the planet's icy surface. What would you experience then? As you step out of the ship, all the moisture in your body instantly flash boils, then vaporizes, leaving you dead within a couple of seconds. Let's try that again, but this time you're wearing an indestructible spacesuit. As you step out of the ship, you see the glowing ice-covered surface, and you feel the spacesuit vibrate from the high winds. You look up and are greeted with a dark black-red sky. Powerful lightning storms light up the...
Yeah, you probably, again here, the winds would probably be strong enough to just, like, yoink you away, or you get struck by lightning, or, the ice does something to you, whatever.
atmosphere, revealing the enormous and violent storms all around you. Honestly, it's a pretty chill experience compared to what's to come. Number 6. The terrifying gas planet, HD 806.
Why is he high? Anyways, I wonder where this is gonna go. Okay, so the first one was essentially hot ice, storms, thunder, strong winds, intense pressure.
06b is yet another horrifying planet, a hot Jupiter gas giant with a wildly elongated orbit that is about 11 times larger than Earth's radius. The reason why this planet is so scary has to do with its incredibly wild temperature swings, as it goes from deep space to...
Obviously, then if it's here, it's behind me. If it's here's, then it would be really hot, and when it's here, it's like giga cold.
nearly touching its star. When the planet is closest to its star, the temperature goes from around 450 to over 2000 degrees Fahrenheit in just 6 hours. Now I know it's hard to visualize these numbers, so let me put it in a way we can all understand. 450 degrees cooks a beautiful pizza, while 2000 degrees cooks a terrible pizza. Hope that helps. But let the simulation be.
I don't think there's gonna be any pizza left at that point. To be fair, there's not gonna be any pizza there.
Again, you are back in a modern day spaceship and are about to enter the planet's atmosphere. Of course, you will be entering the planet at its hottest. As you enter, the ship's speed instantly begins to accelerate at incredible speeds thanks to the planet's gravitational pull. Within seconds, the outside of the ship's temperature rises over 7,000 degrees, which begins to erode the craft's heat shield.
You don't have to repeat the same thing once. We get it. We get it. We understand from the first time that if you enter these, you'd get vaporized.
Around the 30-second mark, you begin to descend past violent storms, high winds, and violent jet streams as pieces of your ship melt and vaporize. Around 60 seconds, the hull begins to deform and eventually implode due to the ever-increasing atmospheric pressure, which means you have imploded as well. Congratulations, you survived an entire minute, a new personal best. Let's try that again, but this time you invested in Bitcoin at 10 cents and were able to purchase an indestructible spacecraft. So what would happen if you were to step out of the ship at the planet's buoyancy point wearing no protective gear? In less than a millisecond after the hatch opens, you would be crushed to a pulp, then completely vaporized into the metallic ocean. Now, for that one person at NASA who accidentally let this video autoplay, I got you. If you were to step outside the ship, this time wearing a modern-day NASA spacesuit, you would be crushed to a pulp, then completely vaporized.
It's just the same thing over and over again. Yeah, that's how most of these work. You die before you'd ever actually reach the actual surface of that gas giant, like the core, the rocky core. You'd never reach that even. Like, you just get like crushed, vaporized, frozen, whatever. Die, just die.
This is because the atmosphere is millions to hundreds of millions of times more pressurized than Earth's, and oceans made of metal are apparently very hot. Let's try that again, but this time you're wearing an indestructible and highly advanced spacesuit. What would you experience then? As you exit the spaceship, you instantly lose sight of it in the hazy, glowing, infinite ocean. You no longer know up from down as you float suspended in the endless abyss. Out of nowhere, electrical currents trickle around you, giving off light, if only for a second. An absolute nightmare. Permanently stuck playing an ocean level. Number 5. The Disappearing Planet. Koros 7b is one of the hottest rocky planets ever discovered. A rocky super-Earth, approximately 70% larger in...
Disappearing, though. Is it gonna slowly... It's probably really close to its star. That's the reason, probably. It's probably really close to its star, and it's gonna be eaten by its star sooner or later. It'll fall into it.
Radius than Earth. Now, what makes this planet so terrifying is its extreme proximity to its star, as it is 60 times closer to its sun than Earth is. It is also tidally locked, meaning that the same side is always facing its star, creating a lava ocean on one side and a dark rocky oven inferno on the other. The planet reaches temperatures up to 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is so hot that its rocky surface is literally evaporating into space.
Damn! It's just like evaporating slowly. It's just evaporating. Okay. Wow. That thing's cooked. That thing's literally cooked. The most literal it could get, it is cooked. We haven't mentioned the super dark planet yet. But have never heard of this one in particular. Interesting. I think, to be fair, the sounds that planets make through waves are much creepier than what's actually happening to them. Like, what do you mean a planet sounds like screams from hell? What do you mean by that? Crazy work.
Slowly.
Like Uranus. Or Uranus? Sounds like deaths. Or was it Saturn? Saturn sounds like straight from hell. The waves that thing sends out.
Shrinking the planet. Here's what would happen if you were to enter the planet's atmosphere with this state-of-the-art spacecraft. Instantly, the craft's heat shield reaches over 7,000 degrees and begins to erode rapidly. Within 20 seconds, the craft's outer shell begins to crack and melt, destroying insulation and causing the inside of the ship's temperature to quickly rise, baking you alive. Within 30 to 45 seconds, the entire ship is shredded to pieces, then quickly vaporized with no traces of its existence left behind.
Yeah, pretty much. We understand this at this point. I think that would happen with most. I don't understand what's worse in this case than any other. Like, you'll get vaporized regardless. It doesn't really matter. It's just the time, how long it takes to get vaporized. But in the end of the day, you still vaporize.
But let's say you were in an indestructible ship and managed to land on the planet's surface. What would happen then? As the
And why is there a fucking dragon, bro? Water? Ocean?
hatch opens, your eyes, skin, and organs would vaporize in seconds before you ever felt a thing. Let's try that again, but this time you're in an indestructible and highly advanced spacesuit. As you step out of the ship, you're instantly blinded by the sun, since it's 360 times larger than our sun from Earth. Luckily, you would be able to walk on the lava ocean since molten rock is incredibly dense. It would feel like walking on burning tar that clings to your feet with every step you take, turning the fun outdoor adventure into an exhausting workout. But if you were lucky enough to spawn on the dark side of the planet, you would actually be able to walk around freely on solid ground. Well, at least when you're not busy being tossed hundreds of feet into the air by the planet's violent and powerful winds. Number 4. WASP-127b. WASP-127b is yet another incredibly horrifying planet. A gas
Again, all gas giants. Always a gas giant. Give me some actually terrifying situations. These aren't really terrifying, right? Because, like, once you're there, like, if you were able to, like, go there, you just vaporize, right? Like, there's nothing terrifying happening here.
gas giant that is about 15 times Earth's radius. One of the many reasons why this planet is so terrifying is that it currently holds the record for the highest winds ever recorded. For reference, the highest non-tornadic wind speed ever recorded on Earth is approximately 250 miles per hour, which is strong enough to send a human hundreds of feet into the air. Neptune, which has the highest winds in our solar system, has winds that reach as high as 1,500 miles per hour, faster than the speed of
Nah, minor storm. Minor storm, that's just a minor storm. Doesn't matter.
sound, and almost 4 times faster than the winds of Jupiter's red spot. Winds this high would obliterate you on contact, reducing your body to a cloud of vaporized tissue. But get this, WASP-127b has a recorded wind speed of over 20,500.
What the fuck? Yo! Why is that planet still there, by the way? And what causes these diabolical winds? Holy fuck, how much is that? Let me, what is that in kilometers per hour? I need some. That is a whopping 32,991 kilometers per hour. Holy fuck, that's about 9,000 meters. That's like about 9,000 meters per second. Holy fuck, bro! You just disappear. Vaporizing is not enough. You not just get vaporized. Like, your atoms will be torn apart by this wind. Jesus, whoa!
100 miles per hour. A regular person hit by a wind force this strong would be completely erased from existence instantaneously. But okay, let's say you manage to enter the planet.
Broski, nothing's left. Not even your soul of that one is gone. That's gone. That soul gets vaporized too.
In its atmosphere with a modern spacecraft. Within 5 to 10 seconds, the craft's heat
We get it. The classic. You'd vaporize.
shield is destroyed by the thick metal-rich atmosphere. Around the 15-second mark, the craft and everything inside is torn apart and swept into the jet stream. The craft and your body are shredded, scattered, and absorbed into the winds, erased so completely that it's as if you were never there. But just for fun, let's say you were a storm chaser with tech so advanced, you could fly into these storms in an indestructible spacecraft and stepped out in an indestructible spacesuit. Well, you would instantly be taken by the wind and crushed inside of the suit from the extreme G-forces, separating soft tissue from the bones. Obviously, the suit still needs a bit of work.
Hey, at least once you're not getting vaporized. You get mushified. If that's you just get turned into mush. It could be worse. It could be worse.
Number 3, the Iron Rain Furnace. WASP-76b is a terrifying hot Jupiter gas giant, infamous for its molten
Hear me out. For that planet, hear me out.
iron rain and winds that reach over 10,000 miles per hour. The planet is massive, nearly twice the size of Jupiter's radius and around 20 times Earth's. The planet is also so close to its star that it's tidally locked. One side is forever scorched by intense heat, while the other remains a dark, hellish landscape lit only by its molten iron rain. But let's say you were placed in charge of a modern spacecraft and enter the planet's atmosphere on its sunny side. The craft will immediately report
Vaporized. We get it at this point. Vaporized. You'd get vaporized. Okay, right. We get it. You'd get vaporized.
temperatures hotter than molten lava. Around the 3-second mark, the heat begins to destroy the craft's heat shield thanks to the iron vapor in the atmosphere. And around the 5 to 10 second mark, the craft's entire structure begins to melt, which includes you. Around the 20-second mark, the entire craft and you are nothing but debris taken by the high winds, which eventually get so hot that they vaporize, leaving no traces of your existence. Since I've already covered what would happen if you exited a ship at the buoyancy point of a gas planet, let's switch it up a bit. This time, you're an adrenaline junkie looking for your next fix, so you'll be skydiving into the planet and gulping down some air. Within a fraction of a second, you're incinerated. Now,
We get it. Like, we get it. You just get vaporized every single time.
just because I know you're wondering, let's say you skydived on the dark side of the planet away from its sun. Within a fraction of a second,
You get vaporized.
your skin and eyes flash boil. Your lungs and organs collapse under the atmospheric pressure. And as your body is ragdolled across the sky, molten iron rain sears through your crushed body. Within 1 to 2 seconds, the scorching winds shred you into tiny pieces,
And you're vaporized.
which quickly sizzle into vapor carried away by the storm. So, a bit better this time. But let's say you exited the craft wearing an indestructible spacesuit and decided to skydive into the planet. What would you experience then? As you freefall through thin gas clouds, your descent quickly increases in speed. A few minutes later, the sky shifts into a glowing orange haze as you continue passing through thick vapors in the atmosphere. Out of nowhere, your body is violently spun and tossed in random directions as supersonic winds slam into you. That's when the noise of the storm roars all around you, as if you were inside a massive hurricane. Lightning storms arc overhead, exposing the alien metallic clouds in the environment. Around this point, you will see the infamous molten iron rain spreading as far as your eyes can see. As you continue to fall deeper into the atmosphere, light fades, sounds disappear.
Imagine you fall for 1 to 3 hours. You just straight up fall.
As you are submerged deeper into the reflective ocean of metallic hydrogen. Once you finally reach the planet's core, you will be completely surrounded by what looks like a glowing fog made of superheated matter, your final resting place. Number 2, the planet being eaten alive. WASP-12b is one of the most unique and terrifying planets ever discovered. This is what the planet looks like. Disgusting.
Bro's deformity. That is horrible.
The reason it looks so ugly and deformed is that it's currently in a death spiral with its star, slowly being eaten alive. A visible trail of gas can be seen feeding the nearby star. Its close proximity to its star also means it's tidally locked, so one side is forever scorched with radiation and heat, while the other is forever scorched with radiation and heat, but also completely dark. The planet is a hot Jupiter gas giant that is almost twice the radius of Jupiter and nearly 22 times Earth's. But let's get to the good stuff. Let's say you were to enter the planet's atmosphere on the
You get vaporized. Only hours? Yeah, only hours. Creekcraft crying over Tung Tung. Childish. That guy is weird anyways with his AI character.
ugly deformed side. Well, surprisingly, you would still be pulled towards the planet rather than the star, since at this range the planet's gravitational pull is much stronger. The moment you enter, the craft's heat shield begins to glow from the intense heat, and the temperature inside quickly begins to skyrocket as well. Around the 5 to 20 second mark, winds as high as 1,000 miles per hour slam into the craft.
Well, we're worse before. We had 20,000, over 20,000 miles per hour, so or about 32,000 kilometers per hour if you use kilometers. Yeah, it won't get better. It won't get better. Honestly, that's not the worst yet. I feel like this one is more tame than the Iron Rain one.
Vaporizing the craft's shielding at incredible speed. Then around the 20 to 60 second mark, the entire ship is fully consumed, shredded apart into molten debris as the metal becomes liquid before everything eventually vaporizes. Let's try again, but this time you've entered the cheat code Indestructible Spacecraft, and instead of exiting at the planet's atmosphere, buoyancy point, or core, you will be exiting here, right at the center of the planet and its star. Time to find out whether you would go towards the star or towards the planet. Place your bets. And 3,
right in the middle, towards the star. I'm saying
2, 1, go. Okay, try again, but this time we're shedding the bulk and heavy weight of the ship, only wearing a light and indestructible spacesuit. Where would you go then? Place your
still the sun.
bets. And 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, obviously you head towards the star again. That should have been really, really obvious. Number 1, the Glass Storm Planet, HD 18973.
That's the one where it rains glass. I'm pretty sure that's the one where it rains glass. I'm pretty sure.
3b is a hellish planet that is worse than any nightmare you could ever possibly dream of. The planet is enormous, around 15 times Earth's radius. From the outside looking in, it appears to be a larger version of Earth, covered with beautiful tropical beaches. But I guess it's time to find out what would happen if you were to enter this planet's atmosphere. You are back in a modern-day spacecraft and have just entered what you thought was a vacation getaway. Instantly, the ship begins to glow due to the high heat of the atmosphere, a great sign that you picked the right day to go to the beach. Around the 5-second mark, the craft's heat shield begins to warp, melt, and vaporize. 10 seconds in, supersonic winds slam into the craft as molten glass particles in the atmosphere shred the craft to tiny pieces. Within 20 to 30 seconds, the tiny
You're vaporized. You're vaporized. As usual.
pieces of the craft and you are completely vaporized and carried away by the wind. It turns out that the planet isn't a giant ocean of water. It's almost entirely made up of scorching hot hydrogen and helium, reaches a whopping 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit, has stronger winds than Neptune, and even rains molten glass sideways, making it a horrible planet to vacation to. So you're probably
Sideways, huh? So it's a bullet hell shooter. I'm going there. It's a bullet hell shooter, but planet. It's a bullet hell shooter, but planetary. That's pretty much it.
wondering, why the hell is the planet blue if it wasn't meant to have any visitors? Well, that's because the planet's atmosphere contains tiny particles of glass, which are great at scattering blue light, making it the worst scam in the known universe. And another reason why it deserves the #1 spot. And yes, just like all gas planets, the simulation always ends the same. Instant vaporization anywhere on the planet, followed by suspended in the dark metallic oceans. Honestly, we are sick of these planets and we hate them.
I wonder if it could have been really interesting if rocky planets were used with abnormal or weird behavior. Surprise, surprise, yeah. It doesn't surprise me that you'd get vaporized, to be fair. But yeah, I think the one that's super dark should have been mentioned, because I feel like that's definitely probably not very fun to go there, considering that, well, you'd be completely suspended in darkness, even if you could walk on there. But I think that one was a gas giant as well. Yeah, most of them are gas, obviously. That makes sense. But I wonder if there's no other planets with water. They're liquid, it's probably some gas in liquid form, or it's, well, technically that's not true, some moons may have hydrogen, may have water. It's just that there's no point. Was it Europa or Titan that do have oceans? They're just covered with ice in some way, shape, or form, where life could potentially exist. Potentially, right? We know that life can exist without oxygen. We have bacteria on Earth that can survive without oxygen, as long as it has its main energy source, which was metal, oddly enough. Anyways, that was interesting to look at. Like, comment, and subscribe.